Hello there, adventurers and archaeologists. Indiana Jones historian, back with another video of the adventures of Indiana Jones. Now, Indy has faced many rivals from naughty German people, because I can't say political ideology that was big in the 30s in Germany. Thanks, YouTube. To a devil, to an evil cult, to communists, to whoever. Who Indy has had multiple rivals, but there's only been one true Indy rival that Indiana Jones generally seen as his own equal, and that would be Rene Belloq. And in this video, I will go over the life and story of Rene Belloq. When I make war videos of a franchise that doesn't specifically generally have war, when it's essentially just one crazy guy that finds weird stuff. Rene Belloq was born sometime in the late 1890s, presumably. Wondering how he looks about the same age same age as Indiana Jones. He would grow a fascination with archaeology later in his life, but we don't know how his early life was. It's very mysterious, you could say. Other than we know that his family was in the alcohol business. He was probably grown up very rich, and whilst then later on he would later meet Indiana Jones, who would become his own rival. Him and Indy would not get along, wondering how he would steal people from a young Indiana Jones. And because of that, Belloq would very much become a rival to Indy later in his life. Belloq would later become a mercenary after he would later become a mercenary later in life, wondering how he couldn't get a true archaeological dig. And we don't know how his time as a mercenary was, then he killed people. And he would later run into, Indiana Jones again throughout multiple times. And each time, usually being a back and forth. Indy would get something, and then Belloq would get something. It was a back and forth. Both of them very much hated each other. Both of them would very much hate each other. And they would grow ultra rivals. And then before the events of Raiders, Belloq would join them. Would become a mercenary working with Nazis, and would become very big, become one of the most famous archaeologists working for the Nazis in the Indiana Jones war universe. As then in 1936, as the first Indiana Jones movie takes place, Indiana Jones must go and find God's box itself, by that I mean the Ark of the Covenant. And so to do that, he has to hook up with his ex again, who had known a lot about God's box. As they would follow, as Marion Ravenwood and Indiana Jones would follow over again and triumph. As they would follow, once again, as they would later try and find the Ark of the Covenant. Whilst right behind them, Rene Belloq would capture Marion and would hold her hostage until she tried to escape. Then later on, the Nazis would throw Marion down into the Well of Souls, right next to Indy. As then Rene Belloq would Alpha Indiana Jones and Marion Raven would escape. Indiana Jones would get the Ark back from Nazis, would now get, but they would later be captured again right next to the Ark. And that's with Mary and Indy being captured right next to the Ark. Well, Cindy would know to shut his eyes, or not, then the power of God would kill him. Well, so unlike with Indy, who know to keep his eyes shut because he know that he could handle the power of God, belloq did not. And he would die a death, and he would get his head blown up because of this. And then Rene belloq's story would end. And that's the end of the story. Akio, a villain who very much isn't really a most iconic villain, but is still somewhat of a notable villain. And that's for all today, folks. See you next time on Adventure with Indiana Jones. You're chosen wisely, and God bless.